Welcome to MGB227 Entrepreneurship. Can't wait to meet you all. It is a very different unit. Let's start right there. It quite likely is a unit that's delivered and organised in a way that may be very foreign to you. There's pros and cons for that, and you'll decide which way they lean, okay? What I want to do in this welcome is simply give you a bit of an overview so that you've got a sense of what's coming your way. And I do this because the unit is structured around your autonomy. You really need to take 100% responsibility for making things happen in this unit. It's not about coming along and listening to lectures, being told what to do. It's about preparing for a workshop in week 4. It's about organising yourself to be vulnerable and to be open between weeks 4 and 8, and then repeating that process and having the courage to reflect deeply in a way that you may not have done up until this stage of your life. So there are some challenges in this unit. The good news is that for 30% of the students who do this unit, they walk away thinking, wow, that was so different, and I learned a lot about myself and my ability to be entrepreneurial. That's the aim of the unit. We're not going to teach you, I'm not going to get a book. Here's a good book about entrepreneurship. I'm not going to teach you something that's in that book. Alright? The biggest challenge that entrepreneurs have is when they have an idea or they see a problem or an opportunity, the environment that surrounds that particular context is very, very complex. So it's very difficult to work out, well, what would be the next step? How would I actually make sense? Do I just guess? Or is there a way of being able to use a sense-making framework that would enable me to understand any complex context? And that's the aim of the unit. That's all I want to leave you with. I want you to get to the other end, know something useful about yourself, something that's always been there, but perhaps you just haven't taken the time to recognize it, and to be comfortable that you now have a sense-making framework that you can draw upon to help you as you move forward and encounter complex opportunities, complex problems. So, to do that, we're drawing on a process called cognitive load theory. Cognitive load theory says that there are no limits to your long-term memory. So the things that you learnt when you were very young, that you continue to draw on every day, there's no limit to how many things you can remember. But when you're dealing with a context that's very complex and you don't have a set of tools in the back of your mind, in that long-term memory, to recall, then we just got our working memory. And that's all we can rely upon, because there's nothing else for us to draw on. Imagine I put you in in a country, let's say Germany. I suspect there's some of you can speak German, but let's say that you can't speak German, and I dump you into Germany. So you know how to operate, you know how to get up and dress yourself and walk out a door and go and catch a bus. But now try and do it in a country where there's no English, where no one speaks English. And now you have nothing to draw from. All of those memories about the English language and how to navigate it and use it, they can't be drawn upon because we're now using something entirely different. And so all you're left with is your working memory. And it takes only a little bit to overload that. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and learn a sense-making framework, which, if we can get it to sit back in your long-term memory, no matter what you do going forward, you can always recall it. I've done this for many years with students, so I already know the process works. The challenge for you is, are you willing to trust and follow the process? That's the challenge. So you'll see on Blackboard, there's a nice area there called the process. That lays out essentially how the unit's going to operate. And my job is to put some meat onto that skeleton as we go through the unit, specifically in the first workshop in week 4. Okay? So, the headlines that you need to know now, you need to have some courage. If you're transfixed with, I've got to improve my GPA, nothing matters more than my GPA, you can do a great job of increasing or maintaining your GPA in this unit, but not using the same methods that maybe got you to where you are today. You're going to have to trust the process. You're going to have to follow the process. And if you do that, you'll do fine. The unit will not discriminate against anyone other than those who don't engage in the process. All of the assessment is linked to your engagement with the process. Lots of students say to me, I'm so confused. You told me to trust the process. You told me to, I've got no idea what the process is. Well, it's sitting there for you on Blackboard. You can sit there right now and you can work your way through and you can look, what should you be doing now for every week of the unit? When are things due? What's due? How should you be behaving as an individual? How should you be behaving as a group? All of that's spelled out for you there, okay? We have some catch-up optional workshops in week 2, so do feel free to come along to those. There'll be 2 face-to-face and 1 will be Zoom later in the evening. I can't give you the dates and times right now because I don't release those until week 1, but they'll be on in the announcements section, so keep an eye out for that. You're more than welcome to come along and have a chat and hopefully put your mind at peace in terms of what is it that's different. If you find yourself being someone who suffers a little bit from anxiety and you think, oh my gosh, this all seems too complicated, the unit's actually designed to reduce anxiety. That's one of the drivers for this unit. Anxiety is the fact that you sense a problem, something's unsettling to you, and you don't have a solution, right? That's what anxiety is, that you can't get out of this problem that you sense. The unit is actually designed to help you to understand how to read the environment around you, not just for business creation, but for you yourself personally. So come along and trust the unit. It will be different. It's different because we want you to learn in a different way for a different outcome. If the unit works the way it's planned, in 20 years' time, you'll still be drawing from the back of your memory things that you can use for the rest of your life. Okay? Can you say that for all of the other units that you've done? Can you say that the things that you learnt last year, you can recall them and they're constantly something that you can use, and in 5 years' time you'll still be able to recall them? That is the aim of this unit. 5,000-6,000 students that have gone with me over the last 20 years. Those who have engaged in the process are still using the process to be able to make sense of the complex aspects of their life. So I can't wait to meet you. Come along if you want in week 2. You don't need to. And then we have the first workshop in week 4, the Saturday of week 4. If you can't make it because you've got work or you've got sport, contact me. Use the email, send me a text and say, hey Cole, this is why I can't come. Don't send me an email saying I can't come. Alright? Tell me why you can't come. It won't be a problem, but I want you to tell me why you can't come. Okay? And then we have a catch-up class on the Monday. If you can't come on the Saturday, you have to come on the Monday. Alright? You shouldn't be trying to attempt to do well in this unit if you're not going to engage in the unit. We only have 3 workshops where we meet, and the rest of the time you have this autonomy to go off and use the sense-making process. Okay? So you need to get off to a good start in the unit. That means engage with that week 4 process, whether it's on the Saturday or in the catch-up class, and let's this roll forward. Appreciate that many of you might find yourself when we move from the Saturday to week 8 and week 12, we then have Monday classes 9 till 12. I appreciate that some of you guys are going to be stuck. I'm working, I can't get out of work. It's not the end of the world as long as you've got off to a good start on the Saturday. All the workshops will be recorded so you can watch them back and view them afterwards. And as long as you're in a group and you can work through this process with them, then we can get around that. You don't bother coming to the Saturday, you don't get into a group and you can't come Mondays, I can almost guarantee where you're going to end up in this unit. Okay? Follow the process, trust the process, and you'll be fine. Alright? If you're a student and I know many of you are, who are captured by this fascination of I've got to maintain or improve my GPA, trust me, you can do just fine for your GPA if you follow the process. If you want to fight this unit because it's different to the way things are done, you're not helping yourself in terms of your GPA. You can do just fine. Just fine. Plenty of people get 7s and 8s, 7s and 6s in this unit. They trust and follow the process. The people who get 4s and 5s, regardless of what they may normally get in units, they didn't follow the process and they didn't trust the process. Okay? So you've got a choice. You can trust it and follow it, and you'll most probably do just fine in this unit. You can say it's too difficult, I don't like learning this way, that's not the way that suits me, and you get the outcome that most probably doesn't, make you feel great about things. It's a challenge. There's a challenge here for you. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to explain why we need to have this challenge and what the opportunities are for you as a learner and as someone who's going to be needing to learn for the rest of your life, and how this process can help you to achieve that. Good on you. I hope everything else rolls forward nicely for you in terms of the start of the semester. If you've got a problem, if you're unsure, email me, ring me, not after 10 p.m. please. I'm more than happy to have a chat and sort through any problems you may have.